Hey there, it's Kimberly here with Knit for Brains, and we're back. Oh my God, we're back from our 5-week trip. It was amazing. It was absolutely amazing. A week and a bit in Ireland, a week and a bit in Scotland, and a week and a wee bit in Scotland, I should say, and a week and about a week in England, and then we sailed home. For 6 days, we sailed home on the Queen Mary 2 from Southampton, England, back to New York City. It was phenomenal. My mother, Mumsy, had an incredible time. We showed her so much stuff. We had her walking and hiking and so many things. I am so proud. We walked around and did so much. I only gained 2 pounds. 2 pounds in 5 weeks. And I've already lost one of those. So that was amazing because, you always gain weight, especially when you go on a cruise. You know what else I got on a cruise? COVID. Not happy about that. Let me just tell you. Luckily, I will say that it was on the last full day at sea that I started feeling a little bit of a scratchy throat, but let me just tell you, I'm just going to give you a pet peeve, just a little pet peeve. Because as you guys know, we do a lot of cruising, we do a lot of travel. And as you also know, I work in healthcare. I'm a lactation consultant, and I work with my seniors, which is what we're going to talk about today in our Granny Squares, right, doing yoga. So I can appreciate taking care, being responsible so that other people around you can be safe. I can appreciate that. If I'm sick, I am not going out in public. I'm just not. Or if I absolutely have to go out in public, I'm going to wear a mask. I'm going to protect myself, but more importantly, those people around me. Keep them safe. Anyways, so we were on the Cunard, Queen Mary 2, and I have to say, the food was exceptional. There wasn't maybe as many options on the Queen Mary as there were like on the Princess that we sometimes do, but the food was really top-notch, phenomenal. They had a lot of interesting little alternative dining places and things like that. The lecture series that they had were fascinating. Like, usually on Princess, they'll do lectures on the fjords or in Alaska or wherever it is, the Panama Canal, if that's where you're going, right? Things that relate to where you are. This one, there was a guy on there from the Byrds, the lead singer, I think, from the Byrds, and he was on there talking about his, journeys in music and so forth. There was a doctor, or he was an attorney, who talked about medical malpractice. Now, mind you, he was from the UK, so it was specific to the NHS and National Health System services, but still, it was fascinating. There was another guy on there talking about psychology, why people have phobias, why people believe in conspiracy theories, the history of cruising. There was all kinds of really interesting stuff. So it was like, this is great. And it was 6 days at sea. So I thought, all right, I'm going to take advantage of that. So people are on there and you hear them hacking and coughing and rattling. And I'm like, I know that you're still contagious because I know enough about healthcare. And I'm like, God, if you're sick, these lectures are recorded. So you could stay in your room and they're going to be on later that same day. Watch them in your room. Don't infect everybody else. So this is what I get to do. But as a result of getting this, I couldn't work this week. Probably next week either, because I want to make sure that I'm not contagious. So I didn't get to see my peeps, who I haven't seen for 5 weeks. I didn't get to do anything else. All I get to do is see you, and I can't infect you because you're through the TV screen or your computer screen. And crochet, which is really not a bad thing. So not that I mind it too much, but still, I was a little bit peeved. And Mumsy has never had COVID, and now she's got it, and I'm worried about her. I can't go and see her, but I'm saying you have to text me or reach out to me every day. Call me, let me know you're okay. I went on Amazon, I sent her some chicken noodle soup, some Theraflu, and some throat lozenges. I'm off my soapbox. That's it. That's all I wanted to say about that. But I am going to be that person from now on. When you see me on a ship, I'm going to be wearing a mask because I don't trust those people to do the right thing. Anyways, we went over there. We did go to the Yarn Basket in Bourton-on-the-Water to pick up some, just to say hi and be nice. And there's a whole video in that fascinating store. We didn't get any granny squares from the UK, and I'm totally fine with that. I know it's expensive in shipping and all of that stuff. And honestly, I was a little bit nervous. I'm like, oh, I gotta bring all that home. So we didn't get any, but that was okay. But while we were gone, I did get some packages. So I'm going to open those now. And you guys are still amazing. And you see this big stash over here? Yeah, that is what I'm working on now. These are all the granny squares. And so I'm hopefully going to try to do what I'm going to call Live at 5. Where I'm going to be going live, and I'll just be sitting there with you, and you guys can crochet and do whatever you want, and I'll be working on the blankets. That's my plan. We'll just see how I feel, where my energy levels are, but I'm going to try, and so you guys can see me working, because I don't want you to think you're just sending these to me and nothing's happening to them. They're getting done, and they will be done, and I'm very excited about them. All right, so the first thing comes in. This comes in from Janet Clark in Conroe, Texas. Thank you, Janet. Nice little package here. I'm assuming they're squares because, well, they feel like that anyways. Okay. I don't want to cut into anything important because they're in a Ziploc bag. Thank you, Janet. Oh, yes. And there's a little card. Yay. Oh, and there's more. Oh, you're quite efficient, that little bag. Oh, cute. Okay, so this is using the Karen Jumbo 4-weight Peacock Variable H-hook, machine washable and dryable. I love how you guys include the instructions. That is so helpful. So helpful, because then when I add to it, I will know what size hook to use. Oh, those are pretty. Oh, look at that one. It's got like a flower on it. Janet, yes. I could make this like the center of a design and bring in some of the purples and the greens and things like that. And this one is also, oh, I love this. This is the, I've done things like this before, where you do the drop down the double crochet, but isn't that pretty? Oh my gosh, so pretty. Janet, thank you. Yay. All right, so these two guys here. Oh, and there's a card. Let's see. Kimberly with Knit for Brains. Oh, sweet. Especially for you. Oh, okay. Kimberly with Knit for Brains. So I guess I can open this one. Yes, I can. I'm going to open the card. Hello, Kimberly. I have enclosed some granny squares. There aren't many like some of the others have, but I intend to send more over time. Oh my gosh. Please, you guys, you send one. I'm eternally grateful. So whatever I get. I enjoy watching your channel. You have your Brit and I have my Aussie. Ah, nice. And she's from Texas. You know, those Aussies and the Brits, they do know how to choose well, I think. I wanted these squares to show others that granny squares can come in all shapes and sizes. I hope it inspires others to expand their repertoire. I think it is awesome that you are doing this. Keep up the good work. Blessings, Janet. Thank you, Janet. And yes, I love these. And yeah, like I said, they're going to come in all, I had to tell you guys what I did and then what I didn't do, but I have still a lot of yarn that I can always add to it. Ooh, here's some fancy fun yarns. What does this say? So this is Karen Latte Cakes. Ooh, I have a latte cake. So this was with the flowers. This is beautiful. It's so soft. This is a weight of a 5. 50% or 58% acrylic, 42% nylon with an Earl Grey color with a K hook, machine wash and dry on gentle cycles. Thank you so much for including the instructions. This is so helpful, truly. And this, oh my gosh, I'm calling it, it's a lamb. It's a little lamb. Isn't that adorable? Oops. Isn't that adorable? It's like a little sheep. Oh, how cute is that? I love that. There's a book called Granny Squares in 3D, and they do different things like this, and they show you. That's a lot of work, Janet, because you do the granny square, but then you add in the rows and rows, and if you guys can see, it's like a row with some, like some chains, and then that's a lot of work. That is a lot of work, and I love that so much. And I have the green color, and this is scrap yarn, so no specs for this. Pretty sure it's acrylic. It looks acrylic. It feels acrylic to me. Thank you, Janet. Thank you so much for these. I love them. And we're home for the time being. So now that my dress for the pink concert is done, I'm just going to sit and do granny squares and make these things happen. And my mom, hopefully, seeing, when she starts feeling better, then she'll be able to do these as well. All right. Next up. Woohoo! This comes to us from Annie Polkinghorn from Fairfax, Virginia. Annie Polkinghorn. Thank you, Annie. All right, this one I think I can just tear open. There's usually a tear on these somewhere. Excuse me. Stupid COVID. I have to say, I'm not discerning or discriminating when it comes to COVID because I've had it 3 times that I know of that I actually tested for. One time I was pretty sure I got it. And so I've gotten like 3 different variants of it. This one I have right now is called Flirt. Isn't that special? Flirt. To date, the Brit has not gotten sick. So let's fingers crossed and keep him well because he has to do all my videos. What did I say? This comes to us from Annie. Sorry. COVID gives you brain fog too. Annie. Oh, beautiful. Worsted weight 5mm hook. Okay, perfect. Let me make sure there's no cards or anything in there. Worsted weight 5mm hook. Look at those. Beautiful. I love these colors. So bright. Annie. Oh my gosh. Oh, this has a little bit of a sparkle in it. I love that. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. 8 there. And then this is 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, and 6. I love how those are beautiful. Day glow. So there's 6. And then these guys. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, and 6. Awesome. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, and 7. Excellent. Oh, these are beautiful. Annie, thank you so much. Thank you, thank you, thank you. So, yeah, it's me and the TV and the couch for an indefinite amount of time. And then, of course, I'll be doing some lives. I will. I just have to figure out. I think I can probably rally to do a live and just sit there, and I might just be coughing a lot, but I'll sit over here and work on some granny squares. So I'll post that in the community tab so you know when those are going to happen. All right, we got, oh, yeah, we got one more. All right, people. Nancy Steele. Oh my gosh. Are you kidding me? Nancy Steele from Wichita, Kansas. You always hear about Wichita, Kansas, and I don't think I've never been to Wichita. You hear about it a lot. I don't know why, but I do. I hear about it a lot. And I just thought, I bet that's a cool place. I bet you Wichita's a really fun place. You know, like we're not in Kansas anymore. Anyways, these come to us from Nancy from Wichita, Kansas. Wow, she packed them in a big, beautiful box, you guys. And the shipping, thank you for paying the shipping. Because I know it's expensive. I see it. I know. Okay. There we go. Oh, one more over here. Oh. COVID. Stupid COVID. I'm just glad it didn't happen on the actual trip. I mean, if you're going to get it, you might as well get it when you're heading home, right? Oh my God. Oh, wow. Okay, Nancy. You kind of outdid yourself here. All right, I'm leaving it down here so you guys can actually reach it. Okay, here's one that has my name in a bag. So I'm going to go ahead and open the bag with the card first. Oh, and she even included Kimberly. So I know I can open this one because some people send them in for the people, the residents. Welcome. Oh, isn't that pretty? Isn't that pretty? Welcome, dear Kimberly and Mumsy. Oh, I'll have to show this to Mumsy. Thank you for taking on Project Welcome Home. You're both doing a wonderful thing. I've enclosed two groups of squares, some extra yarn to use for joining. I've also enclosed a box of welcome cards like this one. Love your channel and your nonstop fun. Hi to the Brit. Welcome back, Nancy. Thank you, Nancy. I felt bad because I was like, gosh, if we've received granny squares while we're gone, people are going to be like, did you get them? We did, but my son, such a trooper, he had to go and pick them up because, we were gone. And the poor UPS guy was like, you got a package. And I was like, my son's going to come and get them. All right. Ooh, I love this. Oh, wow. Okay, so this is like a variegated. And these are just, oh, this one feels, I love the feel of this. Isn't that pretty? It's very soft. Okay, and then, thank you, she included the Super Saver Bitty Stripes yarn for attaching. And then this guy, ooh, Hirschner's Worsted Jumbo Yarn. Ooh, fun. That's probably what this was made from. I haven't tried this before, but it's got a good, it's 100% acrylic, but I don't know, it's got like more of a cottony feel to it. It's really nice. I like that. Okay, next up, oh, she included some nice padding. You know what these are really good for? And I only know this because, while we were gone, we ended up buying some alcohol. Because I like this gin that is, you can only get in the Cotswolds. It's called Cotswolds Gin. Go figure. It's got lavender in it. It's just beautiful. Really nice. And they will not ship it to the U.S., which was very sad, but I found I can actually get it in the U.S. But we did buy some gin from Loch Ness, the Loch Ness gin. It was delicious. And the guy put it in things just like this. This is so cool. And you blow them up. Yeah, love these. So I might save this because this is good stuff. Okay. Oh, lovely. Oh, excellent. Now this is probably going to make a whole blanket right here, at least. This here is Yarnspirations Super Saver Bitty Stripes. Bitty Stripes. These are beautiful. Oh, so elegant. Oh, they're lovely. And I'm assuming this is it's a variegated yarn. It's beautiful. So there's 1, 2, 3, 4, 35, 36, 37, 38, 39, 40, 41, 40. She did! Nancy, she gave me, so this is basically a full blanket right here. Nothing else that we need to do except sew it together. Lovely. And thank you. And it's actually great because we do have another trip coming up. And I told Britt, well, we have 2 trips coming up. We're going into the Black Hills. We're going into Mount Rushmore. We're going into Yellowstone. I've never been to any of these places. Can you believe that? I was born and raised here in California. I'm American, and I have never been to any of these places. So I'm super excited. But I wanted a project that I could take, you know, like on a plane. Now, it may or may not be these because I have to ship it home. Thank you, Nancy. This is beautiful. But we are doing a cruise at the very end of the year. We're flying over to Singapore, which is where we're leaving from, and then we're sailing home. And this would be perfect because all I have to do is pack this and then stitch it together as I'm coming home, because then we land in Long Beach, and we just get off and then we go home. So I might have to pack a couple of these so I can make these while we're gone. So let me tell you my mindset as I'm going through, because something like this is a full, and some of you have set like a complete set. All you got to do is put it together. So I'm kind of working on these first to get them out because it's like the easiest, right? Then I got, you know, the ones here that came from like Annie and Linda where I have to add in. And then I've got them over, that's what all of those are. So then I'm going to add them in and, you know, put them together. But if I see that something's like all put together, it's kind of easy and simple. Or I could give this to my mom and say, here, this one, make, and then do it together. So just so you know, that's my mindset. It's not like I'm not working on those. It's just I'm trying to get these done and out of the way. And then I can piece together all the different colors and things like that. And there's more. Of course there's more. Oh my gosh. Oh my gosh. Oh, Nancy. Okay, she gave me a whole box of these cards. A whole box of these welcome cards. Wow. My God, that was so generous. They're beautiful. And what a nice thing to say, right? Like, welcome home. Welcome. I love, with a card. Thank you. Thank you guys so much. This is just, oh, and there's different colors. I didn't see that. Okay. These are beautiful. So each person's going to get a card. And then other people have sent in ones, and there's little sentiments. So every person who gets a blanket is going to get a card. And we're going to do it right around the holidays. Probably like the 2nd or 3rd week of December. We haven't figured that out yet. But we're going to, because the Christmas tree is going to be up, and they have a menorah, and that's going to be up. You guys, the news, our local news, to be fair, but they want to be a part of it. And so we're gonna, the Brit and Mumsy and I are gonna show up with all these blankets, and we're going to present them. You know, right around Christmas time, they're gonna get these, and they're gonna have like little cookies and things like that. So, I'm so excited. I'm so excited. Oh my gosh. And then here's more. Oh, Nancy, come on. Look at this. Okay, I'm putting this all back in the box. Nancy, all of you are so generous. It just blows my mind. And you know what? This is going to sound really funny, but I really missed you guys. I mean, I was, you know, trying to connect as best I could. The internet was slightly sketchy. And there was no internet on the ship. I mean, there was, but we didn't want to pay for it because it was really expensive. And even people said, oh, it's not good. So we didn't. So I really couldn't connect with you guys as much as I really wanted to. Every chance I could, I did. But I missed you. I missed connecting with you guys. So we're back. We're very excited. So Nancy included, again, this is the Hirschner's worsted yarn in the green and the blue, or green, sorry, and purple. I'm not colorblind yet. Oh, and then, here we go. Okay, these are gorgeous. Absolutely beautiful. And so, look at, they're all different. You guys put so much work into these. And then these are beautiful. Oh, I'm going to cry again. I'm definitely going to cry when it's time to give these blankets. So beautiful. Oh, so these are nice. Okay, I get it. I just want you to see. I see these are just the very basic, right? But I love this design where it's more of like a full granny square, and then you have more of this traditional. But when you put them together, I just think it makes such a really interesting pattern. So I'll probably, maybe I'll lay it out, but maybe I'll use this as the centerpiece, and then these will go around it, you know, something like that. I will lay them out with thought. So then she made these guys. So just so you all know, I see your vision. I see it. And then we did the same thing in the purple. Love these. My grandmother, we call her Nanny. She passed away several years ago. Purple was her color. She loved purple. Purple and Ginate. And do you know, I love the smell of Ginate. I don't know if you can get it. Maybe like at the 5 and Dime or the maybe like a pharmacy or a CVS or something. But I just loved that smell. So every time I see purple, I think of her. So I will think of her. Nanny, she was very sweet. She didn't really cook. And she didn't really do crochet, or she didn't do any of these kind of things. But she was just so much fun. She used to watch The Price is Right and all the game shows. These are beautiful. These are so pretty. I had 2 very interesting grandmothers. I love these colors. So yes, these are all going to go together. So my dad's mother, Nanny, she sang in a big band. She was from Philadelphia. She used to love to play bingo. Loved bingo. And we watched, I would go over to her house, you know, like, because they both lived in San Diego. I was very fortunate that both my grandmothers lived close, that I could see them on a regular basis. And I would go to her house, and she taught me how to drink black coffee and eat burnt toast and burnt bacon. And forever, probably until I met the Brit, I thought that was the way you're supposed to eat bacon and toast. And it quite possibly was because she wasn't really a good cook and she didn't really know how to do it. But I learned how to drink black coffee and burnt toast and burnt bacon. And I still like my bacon burnt beyond recognition, like charred, like it starts out this big and it ends up like that big. That's how I like my bacon when I eat it. And my toast, I don't like it as charred, but I do. And then my mother's mother, Grammy, she sang in the USO. So both my grandmothers were singers. And yes, I do sing. I used to, but not as much, especially not with all this going on. But my grandmother, she was sang in the USO for the troops. And she didn't crochet or knit or cook much either, now that I think about it. Both of my grandmothers, I learned that it wasn't really until I got a little bit older, and really until I met the Brit, that I didn't know that potatoes didn't come out of a box, that were little flakes that you add water to. I mean, I was probably in my, 20s, and I was like, what? Potatoes? I always thought potatoes, you pull them out of the cupboard and you pour them out of a box. That's how I learned about potatoes. And I still love the instant potatoes. I'm sorry, but I do. It's just like you know, like a memory lane kind of a thing, I guess. Right? And I love stovetop stuffing out of a box. I have upgraded to Mrs. Coverson's. I do. And to be honest with you, the Brit and I, we do love to cook. But he's really more of the cook. Like, when I was growing up, my mother, you know, this was like in the 70s and the 60s, and it was all the granola and whatever else, right? And I told my mom a lot this on the trip. My mom would make like homemade yogurt, and I didn't get the fruit roll-ups. I never got the ding-dongs and the little wrappers, you know, the silver wrappers. I got homemade granola, or I got homemade cheese, or I got wheat bread with crunchy peanut butter. Laura Scudder's peanut butter that you have to mix is way too much work, you know, and I never got white bread. I never got all the bolognas and all that kind of stuff. I got all the granola, the healthy stuff, right? I was the most unpopular child on the playground. That was it. Nobody wanted to trade lunches with me. Nobody ever wanted to trade lunches with me, you know, because I got a ding dong. No, I never got a ding dong. I wanted a ding dong, but I never got them. So nobody wanted my lunches. But if it was a special occasion, like if I had a sitter coming over or something, my mom would get me a snowball. You know what the snowballs were? They're like Hostess with a chocolate cupcake with the marshmallow on the outside, and then they're covered in like pink coconut. I still love those. Actually, I think the Brits should go and get me one of those because I'm sick. And what I want now is Jell-O and soup and maybe a Hostess ding dong or a snowball. That would be nice. That would be nice. And my mom used to always cut. Now, this is something funny. I'm just traveling down memory lane. Come with me. I would have a sandwich, right? All the cool kids, they had their sandwich cut right down the middle. So it was 2 rectangles. Oh, no. Mine was cut on the diagonal, 2 triangles. Now, why I thought that wasn't cool, I don't know. But nobody else had their sandwiches that way. I always wanted them down the middle, and I never got it that way. So I went through therapy, and I've come out on the other side of it. I'm okay with that. But yeah, I never had the fun lunches. But if I had a sitter, I would maybe get like a snowball. Or if I had somebody come over and spend the night, we would get like Lucky Charms or Count Chocula or Blueberry. They were the cereals with the little marshmallows inside. And it was Count Chocula, Blueberry, and then there was one that was strawberry. I forgot. But they were like, you know, oh my gosh, that was exciting. Or Lucky Charms. So occasionally now I'll get it, but I don't really eat much. I don't really eat much breakfast, pretty much. But anyways, there you go. Trip down memory lane. So, finishing up the Theraflu. Actually, it's not that bad. You guys are amazing. Granny squares. This is what we're working on. So I'm hopefully going to be doing some live so you can sit with me while I'm doing the granny squares. It's just going to depend on how I feel this week, but I'll put it on the community post tab so you'll be able to see when I am doing them. But we are back. So if you want to send in some granny squares, please do. I will include the information in the link. But it's also on our homepage. We will be accepting them through like the end of December. So you still have plenty of time. We are making these granny square lap blankets, basically the size of a wheelchair. So they're approximately 36 inches wide by 42 inches long, so that if they're going to want to wear them around a wheelchair, then they don't get stuck in the wheels. We are giving them to a assisted living facility that is not far from here down the street. There's about 40 residents. And the reason that we started this, if you guys are just joining and you haven't seen the first video, the reason that we're doing this is because I teach yoga to these people and I've gotten to know them. And I realize that in this stage of their life, when they're moving into an assisted living facility, quite often they have lost a lot recently. They might have lost a spouse, they've lost their house, their independence, their cars, their pets, all these different things. And so they're feeling lonely and displaced and anxious, and they've never lived in a community setting and things like that. And so what I wanted to do was just do something nice for them. You know, they're moving into this unfamiliar space. And so what I wanted to do was create a granny square blanket for them, just a small one that they can have that is theirs. It's sort of like their welcome home project or welcome home blanket. So I call this Project Welcome Home. And at the end of November, somewhere probably mid-December, we're going to take these blankets. There are currently 40 residents. I'm only trying to make 40 blankets to these residents, and each one is going to get a granny square blanket. You guys make the granny squares. I'm sewing them together with Mumsy. We're going to make these granny square blankets. We're going to put them in a nice big bag with a big red bow. And then you all are also sending in cards, just like here. And so each one's going to get a card that just says, you know, like you're thought of, you're loved, you're cared for. But it's just for these people that are living in assisted living facilities who, you know, we kind of forget about them. You know, we do so much for the babies in the NICU and the, you know, cancer patients and the chemo patients. And I say we because I've done all those as well. But I just thought, you know what? Do we really remember and think about these people and they're, you know, in their 80s and their 90s? And so I just thought it would bring them so much joy. So that's what Project Welcome Home is all about. That's what these videos are doing. That's what we're doing in these videos. So if you're interested in participating, all we're asking for is granny squares. The granny squares, I don't have the measurements here in front of me, but I think it was like a 6x6 square, ideally. But some people have turned in hexagons. Some people have done 3D, as you saw on this one here. And that's fine. I'll make it work. If I have to add extra granny squares to it, I will. No big deal. But if we do a 36 by 42 inch blanket, it takes approximately 40. We found that 42 squares is the ticket. If they come in, and these all look about the right size, everything that everybody sent in today is about the right size here. And so like these here, I'll just make one big blanket with these. And, you know, sometimes if that's all I've got, then that's how big that blanket's going to be. Maybe it's not going to be, I don't need it to be like a whole blanket for a bed. I just want it to lay across them when they're in their chairs watching TV or, you know, down in the living room area, something like that. So, but that's what we're doing. So if you want to be a part of it, I would love it. I'm just so in awe of all the generosity that you guys have shown in this project. So thanks so much. If you're just joining us, if you just subscribed, thank you so much. I'm so glad you're here. Take a look, scroll backwards, you know, look at all the videos that we've been doing. You'll see more about the Project Welcome Home. We do a lot of reviews. We do a lot of tutorials. We do like store visits. My husband and I, we call him the Brit. We do a lot of travel. So I try to visit yarn stores while I'm there. We just have fun. We don't take ourselves too seriously. I do knit. I also crochet. I'll knit small things because it just takes a lot of time, but I do both knit and crochet here as well. So if you like what you see, then share us with a friend. We'd really appreciate it. Thanks so much for watching. This is Kimberly with Knit for Brains. And as always, I'll see you soon.